Hello and welcome to the Karate 360 podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Kalan Anglos.
I'm Mosdell.
And thanks for tuning into this episode. We are going to talk about all the latest and greatest in the karate world. Richard, bring us on in.
Karate 360, let's start the show. You will kick high and I will sweep low from local to global. It's the thing that we love. Karate! San no Kamaru. I'm talking really fast because recently you've been talking really, really fast and you had a lot of coffee.
Oh my goodness, you did talk really, really fast. You were just going there. You're channeling me as something.
Do you want to hear something really cool?
Yes.
I was talking really fast this week when we were doing the T-test with the kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice. Love it.
T-test, right?
Yeah.
Did a ton of it this week.
Yeah.
And this is me. This is literally how fast I was talking. Okay, go. Run forward. Your right hand's going to touch. You're going to run over there. Touch your left hand. Don't turn sideways. Go sideways, sideways, sideways. Okay, right hand touch. Come back. Touch left hand. Burn fire. Yeah, literally, I was talking like that.
So.
And then I was getting them to the point where they touch on the left. They're going across. When they cross the middle, I had the next kid burst forward. So he would touch the middle. He would go left. They would go opposite sides. The kid coming back from the right would make it first burst, and then they crossed. It was beautiful.
Oh, they made it work? Didn't bump into each other.
Didn't bump into each other.
Oh.
Now, one of the kids said that their soccer team kind of does that, but their runs are like 10 meters, but ours are like 3.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, they were fast. It was fun. And the parents
agility and spatial awareness
and
reaction.
And I think I can now work in an auction.
Yeah, I think so. There you go.
They were totally cracking up.
I noticed, I talked about this before, I speak fast, and I noticed especially like when I'm teaching at UVic, I just get like, I start going and I have to catch myself. And then when you really try and slow yourself down, it's like you feel like you're really talking slowly.
Exactly.
Sometimes I can't do it.
Well, in our office, we speak really fast to the point where like we're at literally like, okay.
Well, when you been working together for a while and on the same wavelength, you don't need to say much.
No,
get it up. Yep. Okay, next, go, boom. Yep.
The club manager Nick and I, we sometimes sound like we're in the mafia. You're like, you know about that thing? Yeah. And you talk to the guy.
Did you hide the body?
Yeah, exactly. You know the thing about the thing? I didn't like what you said about. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Just nod. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Good. There you go. Anyways, this is the Karate 360 podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
We're so happy you guys turned in. There's a lot of things happening in the world.
Happy.
Absolutely. Incredibly happy.
Amazingly happy.
What did you do this week that's very karate specific?
That's very karate. Here we go. I got something for you.
I'm ready.
We talked about this. It's not actually something that I've even done yet. However, we are going to be doing some more research on karate athletes. So far we've hit the fitness testing. We got the physiological parameters of karate. But now we're going to measure some brain waves.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We're going to measure your brain.
This is hilarious. This is amazing.
It's hilarious.
Well, I mean, hilarious in the sense that, like, people would say,
like, what are you doing? Why are you wearing that?
See, I remember not measuring brain waves, but I remember doing this thing where they had, like, a camera on your eye.
Okay.
And they would look at basketball players doing free throws, and they would watch where their eye would look. And they would figure out they would lose concentration, then refocus. So it wasn't about concentrate. It was about refocus.
Right.
Bring it back. And they could figure out where their focus was by where their eyes were looking.
Well, we're not going to do anything with the eyes.
But that, I think, is related to brainwaves and like, you go ahead. Explain it.
Could be.
Explain it.
I don't know. I'm still not a neuroscientist. This
yes,
is my first
that's
delve
true.
into this, so let me get that out of the way first. However, one of the head neuroscientist at the University of Victoria got a hold of me.
Who's a karate dad?
He is, Olaf Krigolson. He is a karate dad, and he knows that we have a lot of connections with the karate world and also other martial arts and that kind of stuff. So basically what we're going to be doing is there's a system now we can just kind of put it on your head. It looks like a halo, and it measures your alpha and your beta brainwaves. You have different brainwaves. And we know that you have better brain function when you exercise. So if you go for a run in the morning, you're going to have better brain function later on in the day than if you didn't go for a run. What he wants to know, and this is also coming out of some research done at the UCLA, what they want to know is there a difference between doing just like an automatic exercise like running or biking or just lifting weights where you're just kind of doing it, going through the motions? If there's a difference between that and sports that require some kind of cognitive skill or cognitive engagement while doing the exercise, hence karate or martial arts. So they want to know if there's a difference in those in brain function. So they expect, the kind of hypothesis is that martial arts is going to give you even better brain function because it's going to get your brain firing even more and giving off more beta brain waves is what they're called, giving off more of those brain waves than just your regular going for a run or going through that. And there's no research on that right now, so it could be quite big.
The first thing that comes to my mind is the image of Homer Simpson when they ever show what's happening in his brain.
Yes. I'm sure we'll get some of that.
Still get some of that.
We'll still get
No,
some of
it's
that.
fascinating. It's fascinating to see that, there's never an end to what you can research to improve performance.
Totally. And Craig Sensei works with the national team. We're also going to take it a little step forward, and we're going to look at your brain waves before performance and kind of see when, what is the best performance parameters in terms of your brain waves, and is there a correlation between a certain type of brain wave and performance and the top level and in between competitions and that kind of stuff. So a lot of brain wave research coming out.
The big one there would be like, is it better for boxers to have sex or not have sex the night before a big match?
That's a big one, right?
It's a big one.
It is. And that one might be independent to each person, I guess. But
that's true.
And how much, right?
Exactly.
You got to ask those questions too. Yeah. I'll tell you one of the best things about starting my PhD and going on is now I have little minions to do some work.
Minions.
So I guess maybe when you're doing your master's degree, they don't quite take you as seriously. But when you get your PhD, all of a sudden they start throwing undergrads at you, and these guys are really keen because it's going to look good on them going into grad school. So now I got a couple minions that I can help work. And
I totally remember those days.
I'm happy that I got some minions.
That's
so yeah,
awesome.
Lots of karate research that's going to be coming out, and of course we have the fitness testing coming up soon, and just more stuff. That dynamic flexibility test that we're going to figure out for karate performance, which still has to be hashed out a little bit. So yeah, lots of karate research on my end, martial arts research.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yesterday I showed the kids how to be dynamically flexible by someone standing on your back.
That doesn't sound like dynamic flexibility
so
at
I'm
all.
like, okay, so this is I can get a full front split. It takes me about 20 minutes to loosen up.
Yeah.
But I said, if I have to do it quick, I just have like somebody stand on my back and I just go flat.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, we don't believe it. We don't believe it. I'm like, here we go. I had Liaise down on my back and there I am.
Down.
So, they're like, we're not going to do that on a regular basis. Don't worry. This is just for me.
Hey, the new van is looking pretty sexy.
We haven't talked about it since.
That way. It's looking good. The van looks good.
I think what it is when they say when you want to sell something, it's heart, mind, wallet. Mm-hmm. And I wanted the van on there to be attractive.
Yeah.
So instead of just like, this is like the Greyhound bus van or something, I wanted pictures on it because other clubs obviously have it. And I remember when I just was about to open the club, I flew to Florida, see my friend Eric and Darren, and they had clubs in Naples, and they had pictures. They had really nice vans, and they had pictures of the kids on the side.
Okay.
I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
You can really get a feeling from it,
Yeah, and I think that's what the van really gives. You can see it's like it's a family event, family sport, and anybody's welcome. But it's also got a little bit of a seriousness to it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. I like it a lot, and it pops too.
Oh, I'm glad you think that because now we're thinking about maybe next year we'll resticker the other van.
Okay.
And
what would you done if I said I just hated it? I just thought it was terrible.
Oh well. Nothing I can do now. It's on there.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. It's because when we pick up at schools, we pick up whatever our couple dozen are through the different vans, and then all the parents pick up everybody else. So if we're going to a school and picking up 10 kids at that school, and the other 190 are being picked up by their parents, they see the picture and the kids see it. And I just want to create. We can talk about this in a second, but I just want to create the sense of brand. I don't want to. If you manipulate someone to buy something that they regret later, you haven't marketed to them properly. But if you market something that they're really happy that they got involved with, then you did a really good job. And I think the vans are going to help with that.
Yeah,
so.
I agree. I think it's a great idea, and it's working. So there you go.
Well, I mean, that just segues. If we skip that one and go to that one, that segues to like some stuff I've been listening to and reading. There's a very famous marketer called Seth Godin.
Okay.
He's written like tons of books. He has a really popular blog. He actually is one of those blogs where people still read blogs.
Okay. Right?
Yeah. And so he wrote this book called Tribes, and one of the key things in Tribes was to have nowadays, because it's so hard to get people with, there's so much communication and mass media and social media.
Yeah.
There's too much noise to get noticed, and you really have to have a really niche idea and be a super leader where people would want to follow you in that idea. Mm-hmm. And then you would create a tribe of followers. They really like it. And then the tribe means that there's insiders and outsiders. And the more outsiders you appeal to, your tribe gets less and less.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And he said that this is really like running a karate club. I mean, a lot of times a karate club is based on the personality of the cult following or whatever. It can be positive or negative of the instructor and the main instructor. So I've been listening to it and reading about it because it makes a lot of sense. Like, I notice in our club, when we go in more niche, we get more popular.
Yeah.
Because more people want to be part of that.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
One of the problems with karate is you get this locked in effect. Locked in is like, think about something that you automatically pick that thing, not because it's totally the best, but you're just so used to doing it.
Yeah.
Right? Now, sometimes you know you're going to get the quality that you want, like going to Starbucks. You know you're going to get what you want the same every time. It's a simple choice, right? But you're kind of locked into it. But if you're locked into something that you know something else out there is even better, but you're locked in. For example, in the martial arts world, it's those 2-year contracts.
Okay.
You're locked in.
Yeah.
You really want to go somewhere else, but you're locked in.
It's like any contract, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, when you get into a gym contract that, I actually don't want to be in this gym, but now you're stuck. So the key of a good organization is to create a locked in environment that doesn't feel locked in. It's constantly trying to get better. So I thought it was really interesting. Anybody out there right now who's in a business, who's on a sports team, who's trying to sell t-shirts to make money, and who's definitely helping run a karate club, you really want to be true to yourself and what you offer, and then give a ton of value to who's there.
I think so, yeah. And I think also you want to recognize your strengths as well.
Totally.
We've talked about doing this before, doing a SWOT analysis on your whole entire program, recognizing what your strengths are, working to your strengths, recognizing what maybe your weaknesses are, and maybe fixing them or changing things up a little bit, and where you have opportunities to grow. And I think, any good business mind, that's how they are thinking. That's how they should be thinking.
I read this hilarious thing. The salesman, they go, "What station do you listen to?" I go, "I listen to We FM," which means what's in it for me.
Yeah.
And people jump into a martial arts club and the person's like, "I'm a 7th degree black belt. I'm this, I'm that." Like, yeah, but what's in it for me?
Yeah.
How am I going to get anything out of this?
What does that do for me? Yeah.
And I think even in this podcast, we're always trying to answer that question of like, what's in it for the people listening? What can we give them that will give them some value?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
And that's our topics, right? Like, we're not talking about like, you went to this tournament, I went to that tournament. Stories are fun.
Yes.
So anyway, I've been reading this. So if anybody looks up Seth Godin, there's a lot of, he's got podcasts, he's got books, he's got all kinds of tribes. Super interesting.
I'll check it out for sure. I haven't even seen it. Haven't heard of it. Yeah.
Global news.
Let's get into some Karate Global news.
Dun, 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 dun. This in just now, ladies and gentlemen. Goju Global Championships.
They're not the World Championships?
You know what happened? WKF said, "How dare you? How dare you?
Dare you say World Championships?"
So we have Global Championships. We have the Funakoshi Memorial World Championship thing for JKA. Wadokai has the All Nations.
All Nations, that's right.
I like that.
I like All Nations.
All Nations, good. It's happening from today to October 1st in Vancouver.
That's right, at the Oval, right? Richmond
That's right.
Olympic Oval.
And what's interesting, it happens every 4 years. And when they had the last one in Mumbai, only 3 people from Canada went.
Really? And
Yes.
now there's I don't know, lots.
There's going to be over 100 people from Canada are going to go this.
It helps that it's in Canada as well.
Yes.
Not only just in Canada, but in, a recognized space where we've had the Canadian National Championships at for 4 years. So, 5 years actually, if you count the one before. So yeah.
So here, sometimes we wonder, like, what's the value of a style organization? Well, one is, if your style organization is good and they have a lot of technical seminars, that's good.
Yeah.
Especially if they can maintain the technique and they don't fluctuate too much. The second is, you can actually go to a world level tournament without having to qualify for your official BC team and national team. And this is one of those really cool events that if you're in that style group, you can go to a world championship.
So there must be some kind of screening process of trying to make it to these championships?
In Japan, yes, because there's so many of them.
But say, for
in
example,
Canada, do you get enough money to pay to go this trip?
You do? All right, you've qualified.
That's what they do with the Wadokai going to Japan.
Sure.
Only a couple times they had to kind of figure out who they would send. They kind of base it on like their scores and
It's kind
stuff.
of like an open nationals or open.
It's like an open. It's sort of like except they may only take 2 people per division.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do they choose who they're going to take?
Well, what we did is we went, okay, we've got these 6 weight divisions for men, 6 weight divisions for women. Okay, who wants to go? And then we would look and see who we can slot in. So I think only one division we might have had more than 2 people, but the rest we just slotted 1 or 2 people, and we had somebody in some sort of division. I think sometimes we had nobody in a division. So first, who can pay? And then for kata, only 2 men, 2 women. So then you have to figure out who's going to be your best 2 kata players.
Right.
And that can be, every organization can be different. Did you do well in the last style tournament? Did you do well in the last open style tournament? It's really for a manager to feel. But I think Canadians and for Americans, when they go to these big style ones, it's really who can pay.
Now, here's a question. At these tournaments, for example, the Goju Global Championships, the referees,
WKF.
They're just WKF, so they're not necessarily Goju. But I guess
then
you knew where I was going with this. But
well, they're in the Goju group.
They all are.
Some will not be in the Goju group because they've been invited, but they're using the WKF rules.
So they should be already familiar with. Yeah, okay. Because I'm sure, maybe not actually, but they can do any kata, I guess. Doesn't have to be a Goju kata.
In a style championships, you can only do your style championships kata.
Okay, so that's where I was kind of going with the referees. I mean, at the WKF, if you're a WKF recognized referee, you know the different katas, and you should.
Or in this WKF system.
Yeah, WKF.
So I think like what they did with the WADA one, I think they did this with this one, is they had a seminar for the officials the day before.
Okay.
So if they're like, we don't have enough officials, we'll grab some local Shotokan national, provincial level officials to come help out.
Sure.
Have a seminar, show them our katas. Because normally in these tournaments, everybody has to do the same kata in the first round. Everybody does the same one.
The same one.
The same one. So like the Wado, the first one was Seishan, and everybody had to do Seishan. And but it was WKF style, so you went up against somebody else.
Okay.
So you did your Seishan. If you went up, then you got to do a different kata. So the first one was Seishan, the rest you had any Wado kata you wanted.
I kind of like that actually, because then you're on a level playing field to start. It's like who's doing the best kata for Seishan or whatever it is, and I think you can kind of really pick it from there.
Actually, it's really fun because then I remember the first time I went to Japan and I looked out on the floor. I'm like, it was like Japan Eastern Wadokai Championships. So like, wow, everybody's doing the same kata, but then you can really see the nuance, the differences.
Yeah, it
was really cool when you go something like that.
I kind of like that. Yeah, for style organizations for sure.
It's not often to have a style championships, but we've had 2 in Canada. The Shitaru one last month,
that's right,
and the Goju one.
Yeah, and
it'll be a long time before they come again because hosting them is a big deal.
Is it what?
It's a big deal.
Oh.
I bit my tongue at the last second. Sorry about that, folks. There was a
big deal.
there was a blip in the universe.
Nah, we're all good. All right, and then another little bit of Karate Global news that we have here is that the IOC,
International Olympic Committee,
yes, in 2019 will decide the 2024 Paris Summer Olympic sports. So if karate gets in for 2024 going forward, and it might not even happen here until after the 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
That is correct.
So here we are, karate athletes kind of been waiting to see if karate is going to be in at 2024 and beyond. Somewhat expecting an announcement sometime this month, didn't come, and now we're finding out it'll be later till we find out.
Yeah, it's been bumped, and I think one of the reasons it's been bumped is it is less about karate and more getting Paris organized at a macro level. Because now that they got it, are they actually organized to have it?
Yeah.
And that's going to be the big thing. So 2018 they have the World Youth Olympic thing.
World Games.
The World there was like Youth Olympics or something.
Yeah.
Right? So they're gonna have karate in that. And that's kind of like a precursor to it. So I think after that they're gonna make a decision. And then where I've been trying to look for news, can't find it. So I went into the baseball world, and then they were talking about that they're in for 2020, but 2024 Paris will decide which sports they want, but maybe not even until 2020 is finished.
Yeah, wow, that's interesting.
esports keeps coming up.
I see that. And
Do you ever watch esports? Do you ever?
No, I'm not in. I have some cousins and some family members who are so into esports. It's crazy, and I don't get it. I don't like it. You're not athletes.
So they have a tribe.
Yeah. Oh, they have a tribe.
Yeah.
Esports is the biggest gambling sport,
Yes.
air quotes, out of any sport. It's esports.
Now this is like guys playing like Minecraft or video games, right?
Video
yeah,
games.
and they put it on like big boards.
They play video games.
Yep.
So, what is the big one called? Oh shoot, I can't remember now.
Warcraft.
Warcraft is big, but I don't think they have it in League of Legends. That's what it is. League of Legends.
League of Legends.
Which is, I don't know. You just, pick a
Sure.
character and you battle each other.
So you have a fitness.
Huge.
You have a fitness test for esports.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like, what are you? All right, ready? Thumbs go.
Yeah,
like,
go.
How do you? I don't even know how this is being
so
considered.
many jolts. Do they still make jolts? They're like, what's the high caffeine energy drink? What's that one called?
I don't know.
Red Bull.
Red Bull. There is Red Bull.
Red Bull.
They definitely still have Red
Yeah.
Bull. Yeah. Yeah, like I don't get it. Well, I do get it because it's so popular and there's a lot of money involved.
Sure.
So obviously the IOC is going to look at it. But come on, come on. That's almost a mockery, right? I mean,
We need to have an esports Mortal Kombat karate thing.
then they just take karate out and they would just have the esports one in there, right?
I was listening to this thing. This guy said that this is against South Dakota, and he said, you know why a lot of apps fail, like most apps fail, because they don't have a social function. Like email became really popular because all your friends are on it. The more people are on email, the more effective it is.
Yes.
So
you're saying we have to kill off all the esports people?
we could do that, or have our own esports. Like what if you had your own esports thing, and the whole thing is about all your friends playing esports, right? Have a tournament, broadcast it on TV.
I said,
make money.
No, that's going to support the movement. I don't like that, Richard.
How about you have to work out for 2 hours?
That's right.
And then you can play.
That's right. That's right. That will work because these are athletes, not the esports, but at the Olympics, it's athletes.
Bigger, stronger, faster.
Yes. You're not an athlete if you're playing video games.
Well, here's the weird thing is, what's a really old Olympic sport where you're not really an athlete?
Golf.
How dare you, sir?
But,
even more than golf.
Even more than golf. I don't know.
Equestrian.
Yeah, you're just riding a horse, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, you obviously have to be in shape.
You have to be in shape, and there is there's technique to esports too, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. You bring up a good point.
Here's the thing, like those early adopters, right?
And how did it get so popular? Money, gambling,
for sure.
Getting a social following. It's a social event.
People be able to follow it online.
Yeah.
And not giving a crap about people who don't care about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The future scares me, Richard.
So, well, if they're gonna take esports, they've got to be able to take, baseball, karate, that sort of thing.
You would think.
Now, here's the thing: baseball's in trouble for 2024 because it's Europe. Like very few people in Europe play baseball.
Plays, yeah, it's
cricket. But 2028 they have a chance.
Yeah.
Right. So cricket, but karate has a really strong chance for 2024.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
And I hope esports doesn't even get considered. I can see them doing it, but I'll blow my lid. I'm gonna start. Start an esports podcast.
That's hilarious.
I'm sure there's already 10 of them.
Or we just, figure out which karate game is out there and just start having leagues. We have like 5 people in the dojo and broadcast on a screen and go to a betting site that is based in Bahamas.
Why can't we just do that for actual karate athletes, actual karate fights?
You bring up a good point,
right,
sir.
Come on.
Yes,
we'll make it happen.
So I wonder what can the karate world do to influence karate getting in 2024?
Well, you need to get more. There's already a lot of hype since the announcement. I think we need even more. There's a lot of hype inside the karate world.
Yes.
We need hype outside the karate world, I think. Get more eyes on it. And like I've always said, that means we need to get to know the karate athletes more, which I think the WKF is doing a great job with they're doing those YouTube series now on each athlete, which is great because we need to know the athletes. We need to know their stories. And you know what I think we really need is somebody kind of like a Rafael Agaev who really culminates the sport where you can really, they're characters. You actually get to know who they are. They're out there. You need somebody like that to build your sport around. I think it'll happen for sure, especially as we get to know these athletes more. But I think that's what we really need.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's so many people already in karate or fans of karate. They just need to be more activated.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know anything about 100-meter running or swimming.
No, but you know Usain Bolt is.
I know Usain Bolt is. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And also, well, he was in the 100-meter sprint.
Yeah.
So if they can make one signature karate event
Yeah.
as the karate event.
Yes, that's a good point.
You know?
Yeah.
I also think they just got to activate more people and get them buzzing about it. Well, you know, we talked about this before. Triathlon was smart, right? Every time there was an IOC meeting, they had a triathlon event.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
And they stayed right in front of them.
Yeah, stayed at the same hotel and was just in their eyeballs.
Exactly. Yeah. I think the thing now is it's good we're in the Olympics, but at the same time, we still have to make the value of just good karate, no Olympics or regardless of the Olympics, to activate more people just to enjoy it.
And I think it's on the right track. Like, I think, like I said, it is growing. It's all happening. It's just more needs to happen, I think, and it needs to blow up a little bit more.
Totally.
Yeah.
A professional league would be cool.
Yeah.
Let's think about it.
On
the podcast next time. Tune in for next week.
Tune in. All right, let's get into a little bit of technical, tactical. Take it away.
First kata move.
The first kata move.
Isn't that the greatest move of all?
I was told that the most important move in a kata is the first and the last.
That's right.
So what's
have you ever done one move kata?
No, but
so you go.
It's just one move.
You have a competition. You go. It's one move.
Oh, I see.
And you got to do one move.
So not just the first move.
Any move.
Okay.
And you got to land it and make it solid, and then whoever wins. It's a way to do like fast kata competition.
Yeah.
Well, the old days, you know, when people were scoring like with scorecards between 6.5 and 7.5, you weren't just scoring that athlete, but you're trying to place them with a group. So if there's 10 people in the group, you're trying to give everybody a slightly different score so you could rank them through.
Yeah, makes sense.
It was tough because the more people who went later had a better chance than the people who went earlier.
Sure.
So if you had a really good person start early, people might forget about them by the end, right? And you know, the old days, we used to have the first person go twice.
Okay.
Because they were the first person.
Okay. Yeah.
So they thought, well, that wasn't fair for them.
Do they go like first and second?
First and last.
But yeah, that was gonna say that makes sense.
First and last. So your first move is really important because even if they're now just looking at red and blue and you fire off and you go, okay, that person's like 6.8. If you're going 6.8 to 7.5, and then so if you're at 6.8, you have to fight from 6.8 up. If you fly off in the first move and you're like, wow, 7.3, 7.2, 7.3, that's great. Now you've got to maintain it.
Yeah.
And so when you're performing in front of your sensei at a belt test, in a tournament, or more importantly, if you ever have to use it in actual self-defense, it's got to be a quite dynamic move.
Yeah.
Right? And be really crisp. Same thing with the last move in terms of people remembering what it is.
Yeah, and that's what we were told when it was like the first one sets the tone for the kata.
Exactly.
And the last one keeps it in their memory, right?
Exactly.
Especially if you're red and you're going first, if you're doing the red and blue system, if you're going first, you need to leave a lasting memory in them because the other person's coming up to do their kata.
Totally.
Right? Yeah.
So if we want to have a really strong, fast kata, what don't we do that makes it worse?
Go slow.
That's one. Or the other extreme,
go too fast.
Go too fast too tight.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
force it too much.
Force it, exactly. So there's a saying, never go past 90%. Because everything from 91% to 100 is like, you're tense.
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense?
I guess so. I think you should still go 100%.
I think you should go 100%. Now that's the idea of like, the moment you start moving, I'm at 100%, I'm 100%, all the way through 100%, and then there's no kime. So you see it in the shoulders are tense, back's tense, but it's more like, okay, get up to 90% and then have a beautiful lock.
And finish it.
And finish it with a strong lock.
Yeah, I like that.
You know? So we're practicing that today in the class, and how to get a really strong first move, you know? And some people are shy, right? The first move, they just want to start.
Yes.
And then kind of chip away at it, and then they get stronger near the end. I have to remind them, it's not super embe.
Yeah.
It's not a slow building typhoon. So first strong move. And if first move is strong and very accurate, you'll feel the same way all the way through your performance.
Yes, I think it's good. I also think oftentimes when you train kata, I believe almost everybody does this, you break your kata up into little chunks.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing the first part or even any part that you break up into 3 or 4 moves, when you do that first move, it really sets up the next, when you do it strong,
Yes.
it really sets up the next few moves.
Totally.
So then you can kind of piece your kata together, and it's a great way to improve your overall kata for sure.
Totally. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So first move, be strong. So relax. Don't be too tight. Think of that 90% rule where you only lock in that very last second, but you sit super loose, and be confident. And I think then, obviously, be fitness trained.
Of course.
Segue.
Leading right in to the karate fitness training tip of the week. Had a question come my way this week from Aaron. Aaron wanted to know, how do you increase your reaction time? Reaction time. Obviously, reaction time is an important thing in kumite. You have to react to your opponent. In kata too, but more so in kumite when you're reacting to another person moving. We know in terms of the research is that reaction time isn't very trainable. You can't train your reaction time a lot, but you can improve it.
Whack-a-mole?
What?
Whack-a-mole?
Whack-a-mole, yeah. Whack-a-mole might even do it. There's been like some simple things done. You've probably done them before where you kind of work with a partner. The partner holds a glove or whatever up and you drop it and you have to catch it. And then, of course, you get closer to the floor to try and catch it. That's a fun game. It doesn't really increase your reaction time. It just kind of, you're just anticipating more so than actually reacting. Have you seen these fit lights that have come out?
I have.
We're gonna maybe get some. I was talking to Craig about to get some of these. So there will be some research on this come out. I know there's some researchers that are doing it. But basically, what these reaction lights are is the set of 4, or you can get 10 or even 12 lights that basically hook up to an app, and you can set it to random, and they light up, and basically you have to run over and touch it and come back to the center. Run over and touch the light. So you set them up on a wall or on the floor or whatever. And this is really important because now you can't anticipate, especially if there's 10, 12 different ones. You can't anticipate.
Yep.
You have to react. And that's
Cool.
the difference. You're not anticipating, you're reacting. And sometimes with reaction drills, you're actually just anticipating. And that's different because in a kumite match, you don't anticipate for the most part unless somebody has a tendency.
Unless you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, unless you know what's going to happen or somebody has a tendency to do something quite often. It's more so just reacting. So when you're doing any reaction training, you want to make sure that you are actually reacting and not anticipating. And these fit lights are a really great way to do that. You can set them up in different patterns. You can have them do different things in between, different kind of workout things. But yeah, it's a great tool to increase your reaction
Very
time.
cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what we were doing in the club recently?
What's that?
Everyone stands against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Someone takes a pool noodle
Mm-hmm.
and runs up and down the line, makes people jump.
Okay.
So you got to jump over the pool
Yes.
noodle.
Jump.
And at the same time, someone else throwing tennis balls at them.
That's good. I like that one because it makes you have to be multitasking and be aware of everything's coming at you.
It becomes total controlled chaos.
Yeah.
With the little kids, we use just the big rubber balls.
Sure, but
The older
kids
kids,
rocks.
Yeah. Ninja stars.
Wrenches.
Shuriken.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a
Exactly.
ball.
So use tennis balls. And so they're dodging. They have to really protect their head.
Yes.
Right.
That's good because then they are, especially in a lineup, you are reacting in that case because
Exactly.
you're not going to anticipate something coming your way because there's so many of you. So you just have to react to it. So that's good. That's good. I like that one.
There's another one is everyone stands in a line and then the ball's thrown and then everyone's got to duck. So the last person has the worst chance of ducking.
I see what you're saying.
Because the first person sees where it's going and they duck. And then the person in front has to react, but you don't know which way the person in front is going to dodge.
Right. So you
have to dodge too. And it goes, and then if the ball's thrown at right speed and angle, all the way the person at the back has to make a move.
Right. That's a little bit of anticipation because you anticipate the person in front of you moving a little bit.
So that one for sure. But I did like the one going up and down the wall because kids are looking sideways and looking forward, and then they get bumped and then looking forward.
Yeah, I like that one for sure. Because then keeping your mind busy too. You can't anticipate because there's too much going on. Then you have to react right away to that ball coming your way. Yeah, I like that one. I've never seen that one before, but there you go. There's another way.
It was a boxing one that I saw, and then I just changed a little bit for the karate kids. And then, it's really fun to do.
Great. And a great thing about reaction time training is technology is coming up to a point where it's going to be a lot easier. Now we have screens that you can do reaction time stuff to. You can there's actually a virtual reality thing that I saw, which was really cool, where you're in some kind of situation, some kind of environment, and then all of a sudden things are coming at you. You have to react to different ways.
Very cool.
So technology, I think, is going to make a big difference for reaction training.
This guy once, he said in their karate club that there was like someone would get picked, and you wouldn't know the day. You'd be walking around, and that person would like leap out of corners and attack you.
Yeah, yeah.
You had like no idea what was going to happen.
Yeah, that's funny. But then you're just kind of looking at pretty real
slightly wacky. You know, like
yeah. You know who doesn't have any reaction time? Doesn't need any at all?
Chuck Norris.
Esports. It's because they're not athletes.
But they're reacting.
No, they're not. They're clicking a button. Anyways, whatever it is. There's your fitness training tip of the week, how to train your reaction time.
Right on.
All right. A couple events coming up here in the next few weeks. Today is September 28th. We just had the Series A in Turkey happen, September 23rd, 25th. October 7th to 8th is the Series A in Austria. October 26th to 29th is a big one. The World Cadet Junior and U21 Championships in Spain.
That's right.
It's going to be a big one. We'll definitely break
We have
down
a new athlete here who's training with us.
Parvin is going to be heading over to that. I think she said she leaves October 14th or something like that. So there's that.
Yeah.
The Saddle Cup is also coming up for the Canada athletes November 18th. Is that at the Richmond Oval? No, that would be at the regular.
That's BCIT.
BCIT, yeah. And then also, of course, we just talked about it. Starting today is the Goju Global Championships, September 28th to October 2nd. And as Richard is just reminding me, also the West Coast Open in Tacoma, Seattle, Sunday, October 15th.
Yeah, I definitely check out the West Coast Open. It's a great tournament. Was there last year? And I want to go to the one in Honolulu in November.
Honolulu, Kotakas.
That's right.
Yeah, we should go. We should just go just because it's in Honolulu.
Absolutely.
All right, well, there we go. That is our episode of the Karate 360 podcast.
Right on.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You can find us karate360podcast.com, Karate360 on Facebook, and we're still going to get that Instagram going on here too.
Sounds good.
There we go. I'm Kalan Anglos.
Richard Mosdell.
Thanks for tuning into this episode, guys, and we will talk to you guys next week, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Be there.
Yay.
Bye.
San Rokumaru.